There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs back behind bars, a magistrate judge denying him bail, saying that there were no conditions that she could conceive of that would make her confident that he would appear again for other court appearances. The judge saying, "My concern is this is a crime that happens behind closed doors."
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that.
Diddy's corner is in disarray right now. Currently, a well-known situation that has. It is not surprising that everyone is discussing. Authorities are closely monitoring on everything he does, and let's just say, their misgivings weren't unfounded because reportedly getting in touch with victims at the beginning of the case till being apprehended, red-handed attempting to contact. Witnesses to Diddy's behavior are becoming more alarms and eyebrows, but hold on, it gets. According to even Messier reports, Diddy keeps bringing his own children into the turmoil that is purportedly forcing them to assist tidy up the mess that he created. And if that wasn't awful enough, fresh audio that was leaked of Diddy's acknowledgement of his transgressions has emerged, revealing even his own legal team in ruins. Yes, his attorney simply walked out onto the wall case. It appears to be Diddy's empire closing in, is disintegrating more quickly than anyone anticipated. Shan's legal issues have just reached A. The accusations against him and his new low are shocking accusations made by prosecutors. The music mogul who broke all the rules in the book to influence his impending trial in his favor through sly phone conversations, used the accounts of other prisoners to reportedly providing behind-the-back coaching to witnesses. Bars Diddy's alleged methods are causing grave concerns, but it doesn't. A notebook was taken from his information is supposedly contained in a detention cell that, according to prosecutors, indicates obstructing the course of justice while defending. Team contends that the notes are safeguarded by the court's attorney-client privilege, is not yet convinced.
If you're in custody, your phone calls can and will be recorded. Obviously, you and I, out as free people, we have rights that prevent that from happening. You need a warrant, you need a wiretap for something like that. You don't need that when you're in prison.
Judges have actually frequently rejected his application for bail, citing his claimed ATT attempts to interfere with witnesses in a federal motion. Prosecutors claim that Combs used covert ways to communicate with outsiders from jail, and the data collected indicates the obvious conclusion that the defendants blackmailing victims is the aim, observing people into silence, or to give evidence that will support his defense, a claim that is more frequently found in Mexican mafia-style cases or mob trials. The legal dispute is becoming a drama, with prosecutors at high stakes making shocking new allegations against the troubled music mogul's. Court documents disclose that Diddy has reportedly been used the pack of other prisoners to create. Prosecutors use unauthorized calls as a tool, say is a part of a conscious effort to avoid the police officers keeping an eye on the accusations don't end there. According to the filing, Diddy has directed associates to reimburse prisoners for access to their PAC numbers through the use of apps for payments and commissary deposits. Accounts included in the plan. These prosecutors claim that calls were placed to both of the people on Diddy's contact list as well as those who don't, adding to the worries regarding his tries to block the administration of justice. But Diddy's a legal team won't fail without a. They are fighting for $50 million bail bundle under 247 supervision. Said his incarceration circumstances are making it is impossible to get ready for trial. Attorneys, however, claimed Diddy has even been using social media to plan campaigns from prison, such as one pertaining to a witness they claim was hired to refute false accusations in In a fresh 30-page report, the prosecution has requested that the judge overseeing the reason to reject the most recent request from Com being freed on bond pending his trial, May 5th, but in all seriousness, the prosecutors possess the receipts in the United States. Lawyer's office, under Damon Williams' direction, has produced incriminating evidence that may break Diddy's defense and don't. Denials are possible during a nationwide sweep. Facilities of the Bureau of Prisons. Investigators discovered handwritten notes purportedly found in Diddy's cell. Endure his deliberate efforts to interfere with justice. These notes, together with recorded phone conversations in prison, provide a terrifying image of unrelenting work to falsify the testimony of witnesses. Prosecutors are not handling rumors. They have concrete evidence based on the filings, the materials that were seized. Closely connect Diddy's initiatives to extort witnesses and victims into either inaction or adherence to a defense story that works for him. Prosecutors have also emphasized the activities of the music mogul outside of the cell, incorporating social media coordination, campaigns, and giving Stu access to leak materials. Public opinion and, worse, damage they claimed he didn't even use the jury pool. Third parties to get in touch with the witnesses. The legal team's findings are clear, acknowledging the music mogul's failure. Rules for jail phones at the Metropolitan Brooklyn Detention Center. This confession follows prosecution provided concrete evidence of Diddy's behavior, making it practically hard to ignore the claims in a filing dated November 21st, acquired by Diddy's lawyer for all hip-hop, Alexandra Schaap, admitted that the rapper made use of other phone access cards for prisoners to create. Unauthorized calls are blatantly against federal jail regulations. Declares that a prisoner cannot have another. The telephone access code number of the detainee is. The prisoner may not provide their phone number, provide another prisoner access to the code number, and is to report a phone that has been compromised. Access the code number to the unit right away. Employees, but Shapiro asserts that this behavior is typical at MDC, but it doesn't alter the fact that prosecutors possess strong proof connecting Diddy's phone abuse to attempts to sway witnesses, and this is what is meant by influencing public opinion. In support of his client, Shapiro stated that utilizing the pack numbers of other prisoners is also a common procedure at the MDC, and not impediment, Shapiro stated in submitting a case to Judge Arun. Submarinian prisoners frequently distribute their phone minutes alongside other prisoners, and they have limited 15 minutes each call, with a single call per. The government has not provided any proof that supports anything Mr. Com says. Is there a difference when utilizing other numbers? Based on his statements, while utilizing his specific pack number, if there is anything that Mr. Combs must turn to sharing minutes, shows that the circumstances do not allow for a sufficient defense at MDC. Preparation, even though this is technically BOP policy, prohibits the BOP from, essentially condemns the behavior, and every call is tracked using the prosecution with this indisputable proof that Diddy's legal status is not surprising. Team decided to give in to this specific infraction as opposed to taking a bigger chance, harm to his deteriorating defense.
As Diddy's lawyers say, the feds raided his jail cell and seized a bunch of privileged material. So an interesting one, to say the least, about this.
In spite of the overwhelming evidence, Coles's legal team is stacked against him, keeps a positive outlook, and hopes that he may eventually be released on bond, regardless of this is real assurance or purity. Who knows if this is wishful thinking? However, Diddy's attorneys are dragging out all the stops and continuing as far as is necessary. Get a fancy 3-bedroom flat ready in the Upper East Side of New York City as his prospective residence while under house detention. In a recent court document that has been highly redacted, the defense disclosed that they have employed a security expert to examine the apartment. The evaluation comprises preparing for security measures like cameras, steps to guarantee close observation. When the precise address is yet unidentified, lawyer Mark Agnifilo asserts that the site is more than appropriate for the disgraced mogul to remain if. Whether the court decides to free him, the judge will consider this to be a step in the right direction or just another dazzling maneuver from Diddy's camp to avoid. The legislation is still up in the air, but considering the seriousness of the accusations and the strong evidence of his wrongdoing, giving bail may still be excessive in any case. Everyone is gushing about those phone calls. Apparently, one of his recorded calls, a call that is now circulating online, has put him in even worse, warmer water, and allow me to explain the outlook for fallout is not encouraging.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes.
This audio leak is more than a hint at Diddy attempting to plan maneuvers from behind prison. It blatantly reveals him in. It is said that the call Diddy can be heard telling his sons to take care of some business on his behalf. Fatherly, innocent, word-of-mouth advice that isn't exactly accurate is. He has been pressuring them to tidy up. Proof related to his argument, and if his children even consider playing along with, maybe considering charges of obstruction, themselves pulling his own kids into this dangerous situation. That's last-ditch action, but Diddy's camp is rushing to change the story. Insiders are becoming widely known. Media with SOB reports about the extent to which Diddy claims he's on vacation and misses his kids, nearing a mental collapse there, creating an image of a devoted father, merely attempting to communicate with his family, stating that it's devastating to witness the youngsters in their current state. This is their father, but he isn't Diddy to them. He has always been a kind father, loving father, but here's the catch. The purported devotion isn't exactly consistent with that phone call that was disclosed, and if that was insufficient, another insider revealed Diddy's true issue is the T claiming isn't about his children. Rather, he's purportedly concentrated on winning the match and discussing the last laugh. Focuses on the prison but isn't granting Diddy any preferential treatment, regardless of how much he tugs at the threads. The scene's based on insider information. He's being handled similarly to other prisoners, like all public personalities awaiting trial. He was put on his own in his role. When accepted, use harm watch as a precaution to the establishment. Thus, there is a mountain of evidence up from his notes that were seized, his cell sweep, and now a phone call is being revealed. Things are getting worse on the internet. Diddy's situation and this most recent revelation could be the final nail in the words coffin for his defense has. Diddy's solicitors were attempting to rescue that career that is in danger of collapsing, are leaping off the ship in succession, given that the matter might have disastrous consequences for their jobs. In addition to Diddy's legal team rushes to keep the fallout from evidence of his obstruction that was leaked. Attempts the floodgates appear to have allowed individuals to come forward with receipts pertaining to crimes he's been believed to be a party to the litigation in, linked to Kim Porter's unexplained death. Rumors regarding the conditions pertaining to Kim Porter's untimely deaths have been associated with numerous challenging the official storyline. The courtroom erupted when longtime friend Courtney Burgess, Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex-partner, came out with disclosures that might destroy what remains of the empire. Burgess, being destroyed by music moguls, didn't merely talk. He revealed shocking information. In his testimony, Porter granted him access to a number of flash drives before to her premature passing and the substances that are purportedly sufficiently explosive to drag Diddy and a few celebrities from Hollywood, leading figures in a scandal that nobody noticed. Burgess asserts that the flash attempts to include incriminating papers and videos, and Porter even worked on a manuscript, a journey for Kim's lost words. From the perspective of justice, this wasn't merely a memoir. It was her revelation, all with the intention of revealing what she said to be the shadowiest areas of Diddy's world, revealed in startling video of Diddy's well-known parties and relationships, well-known celebs, and compromise and possibly illegal circumstances. Burgess claims that these drives own sufficient proof to send shockwaves throughout the entertainment sector.
8 celebrities at Diddy free concert parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake.
But Kim Porter gave those, but why? Burgess receives flash drives in the first. Porter, the location based on his evidence, truly worried about her life in the months before to her death. She was convinced that in the event that it wouldn't be a coincidence for her in.
I believe that opioids addiction changed his whole life and changed who he was. He's quietly an addict.
She reportedly told a few people this fact. Close companions Diddy was developing. Burgess is more controlling and paranoid. Stated in his testimony that Porter forced him to should release the recordings to the public, and manuscript if there is anything questionable occurred to her, and now that she is no longer with us. According to Burgess, he's just respecting that pledge.
Do I think, yeah? There's no, every man possibly is capable. I think he's very capable of doing it. It's in his character. That's who he is. That's what comes with power. That's what comes with arrogance. That's what comes with, what makes him. Power, that's just the selfishness to make you be like that.
Currently, using Burgess's evidence and a mysterious flash disk has surfaced. A genuine possibility that we could eventually discover the reality of what actually occurred to her.
That the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at. That the coroner them had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives them that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation, shout out to paperwork.
However, what actually elevates matters to a new level is the possible repercussions from these videos. Burgess there claims that they are at least 8 well-known celebrities embedded in these recordings, and some of they are even more well-known than Diddy. Of the most astounding aspects of Burgess's statement was given when he indicated that a minimum of 2 of the individuals in these videos were truly, just to be clear, minors at the time. Although no identities have been disclosed as of yet, Ariel Mitchell, Burgess's attorney, has verified the authenticity of these cassettes and reveals some of Hollywood's most sinister secrets. I'm not sure if it's just the story of Kim Porter, which is returning to haunt Tupac shockers and Sean Combs. Family members are joining the fray in an effort to revive the long-standing case of the renowned rappers M, and everyone's eyes are. Whispers have been turning to Diddy for years, connected Tupac's terrible death to Diddy's name. But those rumors are now shifting. Recently, in an interview, Into Action, NPR Shakur, Tupac's stepbrother, disclosed that the Shakurs are getting back together, speaking on their quest for justice. Pierre Morgan explained in an unedited NPR their commitment to finding the truth, claiming it has nothing to do with Diddy in particular. Justice for my brother is at stake. No matter where the inquiry goes, that's 27 years have passed since where it leads. Shots were fired at Tupac and Shakur. Family, the suffering caused by unresolved questions is still a new map that points to envy and the jealousy Tupac experienced at the peak of his professional life, implying that these emotions might have contributed to his premature demise, but with fresh advancements, similar to the arrest in Vegas last year. There is optimism in Tupac's situation that the fragments of this protracted, unsolvable puzzle may at last come together, he remarked as far as the world of hip-hop rap is concerned, Tupac, king of the hilltop dog, was my brother, rap king, and it comes with a lot responsibilities, jealousy, envy, and other things. I can only conclude that there were teams of individuals who were envious and years of jealousy and hatred. There has been conjecture over Diddy's suspected participation in Tupac's salmon with some indicating the West-East Coast. Hip-hop was dominated by the Coast feud, seen in the 90s, and without any specific evidence that has ever been found to directly link him to the offense, the reappearance of accusations in the midst of Diddy's ongoing legal, who has now rekindled these rumors as more disclosures on Diddy's purported activities are revealed, including his alleged connections to Kim Porter's tax family thinks the death was mysterious. Now is the ideal moment to demand answers. As stated by NPR, this is a continuous. My family's commercial endeavors included an early investigation, but nothing was found of it, leaving us without any explanations. Spanning 27 years between Kim Porter and purported evidence cache and the Shakur, Diddy's family's continued fight for justice may be effed in spite of Diddy's 2008 declaration strongly refuting any participation in Tupac Shakur's and the persistent misgivings about his name has only gotten more powerful throughout the now disgraced music mogul's years. Stated at the time that this tale is beyond absurd and wholly untrue, neither the late, infamous Biggie, alternately, neither Christopher Wallace nor I had any awareness of any assault before, to, during, or it's a whole lie after happened, to imply that there was any participation of Biggie or me, but Mapper Shakur's open discussion on Piers Morgan Uncensored demonstrated that his skepticism regarding Diddy's denial my family is dealing with the fallout from the murder of my brother's mother. Family continues to suffer, so the battle keeps discovering the truth in a fresh development in the ongoing judicial dispute. Federal prosecutors have retaliated forcefully, charging them against the legal team of Combs of trying to influence the offender case in the defense attorney's favor, are advocating for the early release of important evidence such as the names of the prosecutors who are strongly accused of opposing, as the government claims. Not only is this request too soon, but obviously inappropriate and a component of a bigger method to weaken the argument against. Prosecutors for the music mogul contend that by requesting access to such private early evidence in support of Diddy's defenses, seeking to undermine the government's situation and get ready to reply to possible acts taken by the defense in civil proceedings, they assert are an attempt to avoid the criminal actions which are not just illegal, but it might endanger the security of the participating witnesses. Additionally, prosecutors have asked for a gag order to stop the accuser's attorneys from addressing the press and quoting continuous disclosures that posed a threat to the integrity of the trial, which they referred to as the defense's plea for a barely concealed endeavor to limit the government's evidence at this early stage. In addition to, they emphasized Diddy's tactic to utilize the criminal case to your advantage has no legal protection against civil action, merit pleading for the judge to dismiss it directly, with the stakes greater than. This legal back and forth is ongoing, highlights the increasing severity of Diddy's conflict on several levels and the possible repercussions for his. The future is increasingly uncertain due to the. That concludes our day. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if so, please confirm to like, subscribe, and keep checking back for more videos similar to this one.